Well, finally we are getting the chess set video started. This is for the pawns that I'm going to be doing now. I'm going to show you me turning one and showing how I finish it, and I have another 7 apart from this, which I will just be finishing, and then I'll get some pictures up afterwards of them all complete. So it should be quite a simple, straightforward little project, this one. I've done a small template here of roughly what I'm wanting, so that I get them pretty much similar. So yeah, let's get cracking. It will be all in time lapse, and I shall come back and show it you a bit better at the end. Okay, I sanded up to 400 there, so, and I think that is going to be enough. So next, Yorkshire grit. This is the original. Just going to get a little bit on a bit of cloth and just going to put it all the way around first. I've still to cut the top off, but I will do that after, and then I shall do this with the Yorkshire grit and finish at that point. It's such a small area, it finishes up quite well. So I'm just going to make sure I rub it all around.
I sat down by the ocean,
Next stage. This is the brand new paste. This is a Yorkshire grit microfine abrasive. It goes perfectly with the first part. I shall put some links for you to get hold of this one and the other one. I think House of Resin are now selling it, so I shall pop some links from there for it. This stuff is brilliant. I was one of the testers for this, and I've tried it on a few different projects up until now, and this is the next step on. As you can see, I mean, it looks great already, but this is an even finer, as in the name, microfine. So it's an even finer grit now than the first one. So I'm just going to do exactly the same as before. Give it a good rub in first, because if I just dump a load on, it'll end up flying off and I'll be waving more of it. This stuff works beautifully on resin of all sorts. I've done it on pens, I've done it on pendants, I've done it on rings, I've done it on everything. It saves a massive amount of work finishing like this. Stunning. I can see right into the burr inside there. So what I'm going to do is, all I'm going to do is part it off now. I shall give it a little clean on the top. Oh, well, first off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish it, because this is not, this is, like I say, this is your sanding stage still. So that's it finished. You know, your sanding stage finishes at that. But to avoid any finger marks in this now, I'm going to be using Hampshire Sheen High Gloss on this, and that will just give me a perfect finish. There is a few different, I mean, you could finish it any way you wish, so there's a few different ways. This is just the way I'm doing it.
Intentions are good. I walk back to my history, into my old neighborhood, longing for you, oh, but I can't get back.
There you go. So this is the pawns. I will go on and continue. I have another 7 in this colour to do. And I'm actually going to leave the last part of this video until I've got all 7 done, but each one will be finished in exactly the same way. So I'll put all the links to Yorkshire Grit, the Yorkshire Grit microfine. Like I say, on a project like this, it just is so easy to use, and getting the perfect results that you do with it. So we'll come back once, all I'm going to do is give the bottom a sand, finish it with the microfine and the wax, part off here, finish the top, same way with the microfine and wax. Okay, and welcome to the end of the video, and that is all the pawns finished. For the one side, of course. Now, there is a slight difference in some of the colouring. The more the wood goes up, the darker they were at the top. Not going to worry too much about it, because the colour that we're going to do opposite, I think, is going to have to be totally contrasting. Now, there is slight differences, and not perfectly the same, because obviously they're all man-made. a slight difference in colours with the woods, but you're going to get that because the texture's different, or the part of the wood that was stabilised was different. Some tops are rounder and some tops are flatter, and not worried about any of that. It's characteristic to what the pawn will be. So that's the first lot done. It was actually, I found this hard work, I think because I was worrying about starting it, worrying about what it would look like, wasn't quite sure where I was going with it, so I found it really quite challenging. But saying that, I am totally delighted. The bottoms are just finished those flat. I think probably I will put a mark into there once it's complete anyway, because I'm going to need to buy a branding iron for that. So that's it, done. That's the pawns for the first side. The next part that I'm going to go on to is rooks, and there's 2 rooks, and I think they have to be about 4 inches tall, 3.5, 4 inches tall. I've got the measurements for them. So they now start at the taller ones. They're still roughly about 1.25 to 1.5. Maybe it's 1.25. So they're still the same size base on them, but they'll be slightly taller, so we'll start to sort of recognise the difference between them then. But really pleased with these. They came out absolutely beautiful. I don't know how well you can see really. Going to try and get some nice photographs of them to put up at the end for you, because obviously with the GoPro, as soon as I try to zoom in too much, it starts to go too fuzzy. So I'll try and get some really detailed pictures for you at the end. So hope you enjoyed the first one. It could be a little while now because I've not even cast the rocks yet. I've not even made the mould for them. So it could be a little while again. You know, can't say. I mean, I'm hoping to have them done within the next few weeks, but I can't promise on that because everything else needs to come first before that. So that's those. I'll get some nice pictures up for you afterwards. Thank you very much for watching.